Welcome back, Universe, to Tom and Mark Off the Rails.
Coming to you
Episode 18. Sorry, my brain's a little...
I'm excited today.
Wires are crossed.
We are coming to you from Highland Towers in Cedarburg, Wisconsin.
And we have a very special guest with us today, Wayne Guenther.
How you doing?
All right, Wayne, give us a little quick rundown of what you do.
I get on stage and I make people laugh.
All right.
I'm a comedian.
He's a comedian. This is awesome. This is a comedy podcast. It's going to work out great. I'm very excited today.
Comedy was the idea of the podcast.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Never know if we hit the mark or not, but all right. I think we can get into our first current event here. All right. Did you guys hear about that heroic father story who attacked the sexual predator?
Oh,
No.
I watched it on repeat for like 4 days in a row.
If
If that's possible.
It's about Larry Nasser. He was the young girls gymnastics coach that
I'm familiar
sexually
with that,
assaulted
yes.
all the. And since I'm the new senior child molestation expert, this is the story that I have. Yeah, he was in a courtroom getting sentenced to 173 years in jail plus life. The father made a request to the judge. Can I have 5 minutes alone with this guy in a room? And we'll call it a day. And the judge is like, we can't do that.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? I don't see a problem.
Exactly.
He molested his daughter for years.
I heard he had three
Three?
daughters that
Three
the guy
daughters?
molested.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, so all three of them.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I had heard, like, back in the day, prisons used to take care of people like this on the inside.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, he will be
yeah,
taken
they-
care
but
of.
he'll be-
apparently they don't do that as much. Now they isolate people when they think they're going to get their ass beat to shit.
But
So
for-
now sex offenders are safer in prison.
But he was a doctor, so these girls never told because they thought that's just what doctors did.
Mm-hmm. I heard a story that one girl, her parents weren't listening to her, that she didn't want to go to this guy anymore or whatever. She didn't want to be in the program anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she kind of she gave herself a concussion because she didn't want to go back to this guy.
Wow.
So she was in the bathroom or something. She just took her head and hit it against the wall.
Wow.
Gave herself a concussion because she didn't want to be in the program anymore.
Damn.
Well,
yeah.
The judge denied the 5 minutes alone in a room. So then the dad is a negotiator. So he said, how about 1 minute in the room? All I need is 1 minute with
Judge,
this
how about
guy.
you and the bailiff just turn around for like 10 seconds?
Well, that's what the guy thought they did because he bum rushed this dude and the bailiff had to tackle him and cops had to arrest him.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this judge, no charges filed
Yeah,
against
I was
the
going
dad.
to say, I
Yeah.
would drop charges. I totally get it.
Dropped all the charges.
And I don't mean, I would not want to discourage this type of behavior. I'm okay with things working themselves out in the natural way.
Yeah. So, this guy's going to be, I guarantee, they're going to forget one day to not put him in his sexual predator room and somebody's going to find him.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get a hold of this guy. He's a little pinhead looking doctor dude.
Yeah.
No, that's not the guy.
That's just some poor sap who happened to be on the side of the screen.
That's the guy.
Nice.
Nice.
Or is that the father? I don't know.
The father's the one with the gray hair.
That's either an awesome guy or a terrible
Bigger
guy.
Yeah.
We're not sure which.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let it happen.
All right.
What do you think, Mao? Somebody molested our children. Would you be okay with me alone with them in a room?
Well, the cynical part of me thinks, well, do you just want to beat him up or do you want to show him what it's like to be violated?
I think that people
think
like
both.
that, people that are in prison for stuff like that, I think they do get that in jail.
Well, yeah, I think
Yeah.
prisons now are trying to segregate, make them less violent and things like that, which I know I kind of disagree with, but,
Yeah. If they're in prison, why shelter them,
yeah. They're
People
there for a
don't-
reason.
Dude, he'll be there for a month and you'll be able to just roll a golf ball up his ass and not touch the sides. Like it's a mini golf course.
people frown on, yeah, even in
Not my butthole. It's tight as hell. You want to see me pick up a dime off the floor with it? All right. Next local event. The hell we got here? Oh, it's a theater
Oh, I do love the theater.
Well, this one sounds cool. It's called Zombies from Beyond. And it's not what you think. Well, it might be what you think. What do you think it is?
Zombies from space.
Space zombies?
Fuck you.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what it is?
Next story.
Just ripping through my shit. Okay.
That was fun. Next.
Okay, Mark nailed it right.
All right, well, where is this
Okay,
this show?
this is February 4th at 2 p.m. at the Skylight Music Theater. As Cold War paranoia is raging in 1955, a flying saucer lands in Milwaukee,
Hey.
threatening the good folks at the fictional Milwaukee Space Center. Even worse, the budding romance of a rocket scientist, Trenton Corbett, and Mary Malone is jeopardized. An irresistible satirical spin on pulp fiction space alien flicks. And I think it has zombies.
Wait, you said it was February 4th, though?
February 4th.
That's today.
Go out tonight, people. No, it's a Sunday. There's not shit tonight. Maybe it starts. Usually these things run for a couple of weeks.
It says 2 p.m. Well,
Playing right now.
Tom is very organized. Mark, you want to take that back? Okay, so when
Universe Tom is getting over a series of illnesses.
Yes.
So this is something that you could have seen,
Yeah,
Maybe.
it happened.
but it's too late.
Okay. Well, okay, when this releases on Tuesday, build a time machine, go back and watch this, maybe find it in a different place. I'm sorry.
Could we just post-date it for last week? And
Yeah,
like,
I fucked the bet on this one.
well, it sounds cool. I kind of want to see it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to look into it. I would hope it plays more than just once.
Okay.
We'll make a time to make it if we leave now. Let's just
All right.
Yeah.
Podcast over. Thank you, universe. Car peeling out sound.
But the Super Bowl.
Eh,
My Hulk Hogan watch film.
we all know the Pats are going to win.
So when this drops on Tuesday, you'll know if we were right or wrong. Mark, do you have any local events happening in Cedarburg that we can save me
Not
with?
in Cedarburg, but last night, and this show runs through this weekend. Susan and I went to Comicality in Hartford. It's the Hartford Players, and they do a couple of like songs, like short fun songs from musicals, or two guys did stand-up bits from famous comedians as kind of like monologue type things. So it was a fun little show at the Hartford Theater. Susan knows exactly where it was because she drove, but it was a lot of fun. It runs through next weekend. It's a fundraiser for their upcoming shows. They do plays there all year round. Amelia Scheidt was in it.
Oh, our lead singer of Vinyl Rose guest
Yes.
that was on. All
Friend
right.
of the show.
Friend of the show. Well, I should have really... I don't know where I was. Sorry, universe. I got really sick for a long time, and it got sick to the point where I actually had a seizure, and that was 2 days ago. So my brain's a little fucked, and I did this all yesterday, first day after a giant seizure. So, yeah, forgive me. Okay.
We're going to edit this down to a lean, like 30-second tight podcast.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's move on to the interview.
Cool,
All right.
cool.
All right, Wayne Guenther, our comedian.
Yes.
All right, I got some questions. How'd you get into stand-up comedy?
I actually started in high school. I was 16. I started.
Wow.
We did. They had a huge talent show at our school, and we did. My friends all told me to do jokes as a dare, because I never even thought about doing it. So I did it on a dare, and yeah, I went on, did all my jokes, and I got a standing ovation
Nice.
for
Wow.
my first time on stage doing it. So I was like, oh, I like this. So I just kept doing it, and now I'm doing shows. I was just in New York last year, and I did Dangerfield's Comedy Club,
Okay.
Rodney
Very cool.
Dangerfield.
Wow.
So that was huge.
That is huge.
I try out for America's Got Talent every year.
Okay.
It's kind of like wherever they are closest to the Midwest, I'll go and I'll do America's Got Talent and try out. And it's
Nice.
pretty cool. So
All right.
lots of local shows around here.
So who are some of your comedic influences? Do you have any favorite stand-ups that you look to?
Yes. I really like Tom Segura.
Okay.
I think he's really, really good. I like his style, and I like Lewis Black,
Yeah.
I love
And,
Lewis Black.
Kathleen Madigan.
Yeah,
Probably.
she's very dry and good too.
She is. She's
Yeah.
hilarious. So probably those. Those are my top 3, I think.
Okay.
Very cool. So for that first play you did in high school,
Yeah.
Are you from Germantown? I thought I read that.
Germantown High School.
Germantown High School. So that wasn't a tough room?
No, it wasn't.
My first thought is like a bunch of jerkbag high schoolers.
Yeah, I know. And I wasn't exactly like the most popular kid, so it was like I kind of went up there and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really rough.
Yeah.
And I got on stage and it went really well. And it was like a big gym too. It was
Nice.
second time I think we did the talent show at the school. So yeah, just a whole room just standing up and clapping. It was like must have been 100 and 125, 150 around there.
How do you get the balls to go up there and do that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you to this day. I know that it can go really well and it can have a really good reaction. And I think I like the attention in a weird
Yeah?
way. Yeah,
Okay.
I really like the attention. And to be able to say what comes out of my head. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
A release?
Yeah, it's kind of a release. It's really nice, actually. It's like therapy, pretty much.
Wow.
So it's cool.
So where do you go next then from Germantown High School?
From Germantown High School, I did a lot of school events, like charity, like coffee houses and stuff.
Okay.
And then right when I turned 18, I went to Comedy Cafe and I started doing shows there. And that was really fun. That was my first like comedy club experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2015, I won the open mic competition, which was
Awesome.
really big.
Very
and then
cool.
I got to open for Roy Haber and Steve Gillespie.
Okay.
Steve Gillespie was just on Conan
Yeah.
in the past year.
Okay.
So I got to open for him. That was really cool, just seeing him
Wow.
live. Then I opened for a couple other people. One of the big ones was Jeff Tate. He was on Doug Benson. Do you guys know Doug
I know
Benson?
Yes.
Doug Benson.
Yeah, he was on that show Doug,
Getting dug with high?
Getting Doug with high?
something like that. I think it
Yeah,
was
that-
actually.
Yeah.
No, it was a show on Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's just like, no, I don't know if it's like a podcast Getting Doug with high.
That
I
is,
think-
yeah, Getting dug
I
with high, I
think
believe, is a
that-
podcast.
Yep,
Okay.
I think that was a podcast. But he had one on Comedy Central, and Jeff Tate was one of the guests on that show one week, which was really cool.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Cool.
that was
Awesome.
pretty much the next big thing.
So do you get your own shows or do you have like an agent?
I book all my own stuff.
Okay.
So I pretty much in charge of the booking of the shows and the advertising and everything.
Oh, wow.
So I design the flyers. I go out to the
Are
shows,
you like
deliver the stuff.
incorporated business now or?
No, I wish.
No?
I wish. I think I'd fail at running a business. I'm good at it though. Like I can do the flyers and stuff, and I just lots of phone calls, lots of emails.
Okay.
So do you approach a comedy club and just say, do you have any open spots? Or do you...
For the comedy club, it's kind of different. It's they have you do the open mic
Okay.
first, and if they really start liking you and you're a regular at the mic, then they'll bring you on to their shows or something like that, opening or hosting or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You usually host first, and then they see how that goes, and then you can kind of go up.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
Speaking of hosting, do you like to do a lot of crowd work?
I do. I think I have a very laid back style, so I'm kind of like I really like interacting with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a very laid back type thing, so that's really cool.
I saw one of your 5-minute sets on YouTube.
Oh, did you?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What kind of style does he use?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was like self-deprecating kind of humor you talking about,
Yeah,
like
Okay.
relationships and stuff like that.
yeah. I had one really weird joke about my mom in there.
Yes.
Did you hear
Yes,
that
I
one?
saw that one.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
yeah.
So when people know you're a comedian, this has got to be one of the worst things is they walk up to you and go, make me laugh or
Yep.
tell me a
Tell
joke.
me a joke. Yeah.
It seems like stand-up comedy is more, you got to be in the flow and rhythm and let me start,
Yeah.
and it all fits together.
And usually when I just tell people a joke, they're usually like, "Oh, Not funny. Why'd you tell me that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
you need to give them a drink, and you need to be on stage behind a mic.
Exactly.
Then it'll be funny.
well, yeah. I mean, it's totally different when you go on stage, because when you're on stage, you're like, okay, this is part of the show. I'm gonna go all out on the joke. I'm not just gonna tell you the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Which some people are like, well, you should just be on it all the time. Don't turn it off, which is kind of weird, but.
So you said you were in New York. Is there a difference between comedy clubs in Milwaukee and in New York?
Yes, huge difference. Milwaukee, if you have an open mic in Milwaukee, it goes till starts at 8, it'll go till 10. Open mic in New York starts at 7, goes till midnight.
Okay.
So, because there's a lot more comedians in New York.
Yeah.
It's a big hub in New York, and it's just comedy all the time, basically, in the comedy clubs. And the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, but I kind of went on close to the end, and you go on close to the end, and there starts out with a lot of people. The room's full, but I think I went on at 10:30. Nobody.
3.5 hours into the evening. Yeah.
But it's kind of cool that I can say, hey, I performed at Dangerfields in front of 2 people. Like, it was...
Hey, all those other people paid.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that was cool. And you get to meet so many different comedians and stuff. And it was funny because Tracy Morgan dropped in 2 weeks ago, I think, to the comedy club.
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Just seeing it, because I have them on Facebook, so I see everybody that drops in. And,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's got to be cool, making a lot of comedian friends. It's like every time you go out and hang out, it's just a riot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's awesome. Oh, that goes with my public speaking. You ever bomb hard?
We're still talking comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, multiple times. There was once. It was a weird show. It was at a VFW, and yeah, it was.
It was a fish fry night. And,
No.
yeah.
It was a fish fry night.
Dude, you just said you bombed the VFW.
Yep. Can we delete that? I did really bad at the VFW. But it was a fish fry night. And in Richfield. It was in Richfield. And an amazing amount of old people. And my joke, they're not my demographic. That's older people are not my demographic. I mean, they are, but once you hit 80, I think I lost you.
I just think they can't hear you anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have a lot of material on the Kaiser.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Third Reich. I don't have anything on that.
Yeah.
But I did this show, and it was just crazy because I'm saying all my jokes. I think I had one about making out, and I did that joke in front of the older people, and they're eating their fish fry. Pretty sure they didn't even know there was supposed to be a comedy show going on. So there's just this one guy just talking shit over the mic, and
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite thing to do to knock down hecklers?
I was just going to ask that, Mark.
Oof. I haven't had too many. I think I called one guy a pedophile once.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on the 'cause it was this one guy I was on stage. I think it was at Main Mill or something in the Falls. It was AJ's Live. It used to be AJ's Live.
Yeah.
And I was on the stage, and I'm doing this joke, and he's like, stupidest fucking comeback. It was nice shoes. That was his.
Thank you.
I can see how that would throw you off your game.
I'm like, nice. I'm like, nice mustache, you fucking pedophile. And then he just walked out, and then he just left. And then they clapped, and it was cool.
Nice.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But
And as he's leaving, you're like, try not to put any kids on a milk jerk curtain when you go home.
yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I've had some weird nice shoes. That was the weirdest heckle.
So the universe is dying to know, were they nice shoes?
They were nice shoes. They were dress shoes. They were nice.
Was that a bowling alley he was wearing?
I stole the bowling shoes.
He stole the bowling shoes.
I just wear them for every show now.
My wife has a pair
The
of
glow-in-the-dark.
stolen bowling shoes. They say AMF on them, and she has the balls to take them to like Circle B to other bowling.
She has the balls. She has the bowling balls to take them to another bowling alley.
So did she just wear like really shitty shoes to the bowling alley that she didn't care about or was
She
going
wore
to throw
shoes
up?
from another bowling alley to a bowling alley, and if
No,
I
but how
was
did
an
she get the bowling shoes in the first
I
place?
don't know how she acquired them, but she has them, and they're your standard hideous red, blue, half and half bowling shoes.
What I would do is I would take the shoes that I was mowing the lawn in for like 6 years, wear them in the bowling alley, trade them in for bowling shoes.
Go to Goodwill, pick up a pair of sneakers for a nickel.
Yeah.
You really want a pair of the nasty old bowling alley bowling shoes?
Apparently Susan did.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, Susan's into fashion a little bit, and you can make that work with some dress or something.
Yeah, all the rage in Paris.
Yeah.
What if you need it for a Halloween costume? You're going as a bowler.
Or like a human bowling shoe. You could do
There you
that.
go.
Just the same color pants and the shirt.
You got laces on your chest, a big hood up.
Yeah.
I might go as a bowling shoe now. Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so a couple of minutes ago, you were talking about demographics.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your strongest demographic?
Oh boy. I mean, I'm really broad. I just came out with a new 20 minutes. So I have like all new jokes from what you saw on YouTube. But I think my demographic's pretty broad. I think it can range for like people my age, like 20s, early 20s, all the way up to like 50s.
Okay. Do you like to
50s.
work blue, or do you like to keep it clean?
It's tough. I like
Because keeping it clean can go a long way with like families and
exactly. And I have some stuff where I can still keep it clean that it's all family friendly. But then I also have some where it's blue. It's kind of dirtier, which is mainly what I like to do.
Okay.
all right.
Just because it's funny. I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, staying clean looks really hard.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
am really impressed with like comedians like Jim Gaffigan who can actually pull it off.
It's
and it's
tough.
like, oh, it's awesome. Something I can play for when I'm on a road trip with my dad.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And both are really good. I'm not gonna knock being clean because if I could be clean all the time, I would.
Yeah.
But at bar shows and stuff, not everybody wants to hear just regular clean stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to a bar and I'll start doing clean stuff and I won't get any laughs. But then I say like fuck or something. Then everybody's going crazy for some reason.
Hey, gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the key to any performing is reading the room and just this is what you want. And I'm going to give it to you.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe throw in a couple decoys, see which one they hit on, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah, do you have a process? Do you always do your routine, or do you like to improvise,
Freestyle?
riff, as they say?
It's really funny because mostly I'll have a set written out before I go on, but I'll write the set like 10 minutes before I go on, and then I'll just kind of just look it over. It's just keywords,
Okay.
and I'll look it over. I'll be like, okay, that's how it's going. That's what I'm gonna do. And if I forget it, I'll just say more different stuff.
So
And-
you said you came up with a new 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What is your process of like? Do you think of a joke like say 7:00 at night? You're watching something. You're like, oh, that'd be really funny to say, and you write it down on a notepad, or do you just file it in your brain?
There's some times where I think of something. I have like a little notebook by my bed too.
Okay.
But there's sometimes where I think of something, I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. And I run and I just jot it down.
All right.
But there's sometimes where I'll just sit at the table and I have my stuff in front of me and just think of like stuff that happened to me. And I'm like, oh, that was messed up. And I'll just write that down
Yeah.
and I'll just try to make it funny. But I'll just write down stuff that like happened that's really weird. Like I wrote some new stuff about having health insurance versus not having health insurance.
Okay.
And like if you have a bump on your stomach and you go to, your first thought is, oh, I got to go to the doctor. I got to get this checked out. If you have health insurance. If you don't, you have a lump on your stomach and you're like, this is how it ends. This is it. That's basically, because that's exactly how I am.
But then a baby grows.
Yeah, exactly.
From the lump. Like, oh, I was just pregnant. That wasn't a lump at all.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So do you have any work that you've like retired, that jokes you don't say anymore?
I don't know if I necessarily retired them. Sometimes, I mean, I still, when I headline and do bigger shows like that, where I do like a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, I'll have my old stuff in there as well. So,
Okay.
I'll do all the new stuff and then I'll throw in some old, just to
Some
kind of keep
classics.
it, yeah, just to keep it going. And
Nice.
yeah,
All right.
because a lot of my old stuff is good. So,
Well, yeah, it's the most finely crafted and honed stuff because
Mhm.
it's a process of just, you say it 100 times and each time it gets a little bit better.
exactly.
Yeah. So if you did a TV special, though, would you just dump all that material? Because
I've heard of comedians who, once they say it's on TV or on a CD,
Yeah.
it's dead to them and they never perform it again.
I mean, considering none of it was ever on a special or anything, I'd probably do kind of like a highlight reel, my best favorite stuff.
okay.
But once I got another special or something, then I would dump it and have to write a new one.
Do you have
Okay.
an album or MP3s or anything like that?
I don't. I want to get one started, but I have no clue how to even do that. So I'm just kind of,
Well, when you meet a comedian that does have that, try to ask him.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be really cool. I'm working on T-shirts and stuff too. So
About 2 months ago, I knew nothing about podcasting.
really,
It comes together quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
You knew, was it 3 months ago when you started this?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and what, you read a book?
I read a book.
And that was it. Off to the
Oh,
races.
wow.
Well,
All right.
we always thought, like, hey, we're pretty funny. We could do this. So I read a book, did this. All of a sudden, like, oh, well, we're having fun. We're getting listeners. Maybe we can make money.
You got to find a Molly to do all the legwork.
Yeah, he dates
Yeah.
a chick that's in IT, so he's like, "You're in IT, you can do all my stuff." And
You
I'm like,
edit my
"I've
crap."
never used a soundboard in my life. I've never edited
Yeah.
in
All
my
right, go
life."
figure that out, Mal.
So I've,
Yeah,
I've
that sounds like a
watched,
mouth.
Read a book.
I've watched
Get
a
it?
lot of YouTube videos, and I've had to read a lot up on it, and I'm
See?
teaching myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when Mark wasn't my original partner, but the one day my original partner was a musician, Molly was a sound chick, and I had like a to-do list of 7 things to start this podcast, and it was like, okay, this is for Alex, this is for Alex, Molly, Alex. Oh, I'm fucking exhausted. Okay, I'm done. Like, I can't do the intro song. I can't do this. I can't. Okay, this is the recording stuff. You have that. Molly, this is technical.
But it's amazing in the era that we live in with the YouTube and the internet, how easy it is to go and find pretty much anything that you're looking for. If you're, I don't know how to do this, just Google it and you'll come up with a million.
Yeah, maybe
different-
YouTube, how to make your own CDs. Or
Yeah.
It's
Well, I've seen a lot of comedians, they don't even make actual CDs. They just put the MP3s on whatever
iTunes.
service.
put it on
Yeah.
a hosting.
On
Spotify
iTunes.
or
Yeah,
iTunes
Spotify,
or
whatever it
something.
is.
you got to get
SoundCloud.
invited to Spotify, we found out.
Oh, really?
We're not on Spotify.
Oh,
So
my
you
gosh.
got bounced from Spotify?
No, we never got invited.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yes, yes. No. Yeah.
Off the rails is... No, but if you're ever going to do that, there's stupid things you learn by reading a book. Like, always drop your shit on iTunes on Tuesdays. Always.
Yeah.
That's when we drop. That's when they release all their new stuff, and it's highest traffic day, so it's your best chance. And then when people are downloading new stuff and you get more listeners, all of a sudden you start getting more listeners because they say, if you like this, you may like Off the Rails.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do the keywords right. And we want you to get big.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Then
We're getting in on the ground floor.
yeah.
Hey!
Then you'll have to come back because, hey, you were on our is this your first podcast?
Yep.
Okay, we were your first podcast, so anytime
Sweet.
you're in town,
Pop
Wayne
the
Guenther
podcast
is going to
cherry.
come.
Exactly.
So is there anywhere we can see you next around here?
Yeah, there's February 24th. I'm at Cheryl's Club 175.
Okay, that is
Slinger.
2 miles from my house.
All right. And that's at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. to 6.
So we know who's going to be front row center, right?
I'm going February 24th. Molly, put that in your phone.
Put that in my calendar.
Yeah.
I'm not your secretary.
All right. And, well, we wish you all the best, Wayne. Thanks for coming on and stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
So now I think we can do the Ask Tom Anything.
Sure.
All right.
Tell him what it is. Wait.
How do we find you? If
Oh,
we
yeah.
wanna-
Wait.
yeah.
We'll
Do you
get-
have a Facebook page? Do you have a
We'll get-
website? How do we find you?
Good job, Mom. Nice catch.
Google. No, I'm kidding. It's I'm on Facebook under if you just type in Wayne's Comedy in the search bar. I have my fan page on there, and I put pretty much all my shows. I think I have a list of my shows on the website or on the page. Yeah, I got all my stuff on there, so that's pretty much the best way to find me.
Do you have a website or anything, or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm looking to launch that probably in a couple months. So,
Okay.
I'll also have that on the Facebook page too.
If you want, we can make Molly make you a website.
Oh, sweet. Wow.
Hey, after the podcast, we'll tell you how to make a website. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
you
know.
just,
We
you
can-
can just make her do it. Done.
Hey, there you go. But she keeps asking all these questions, like, what do you want the name to be? Thought I told you to do it. So anyway, Ask Tom Anything section.
All
Wayne,
right.
get in on this. This is just email questions.
To asktomanything414@gmail.com. And then every day before we do a podcast, I log on, I look at a bunch of them, copy paste them, print them, read them off.
All right.
So we have a bunch from the show's number one fan, Fatty Nutmeg. She says, we got this kid at work. He smells really bad, like 5-day-old BO. He also almost always has huge sweat-marked pit stains. Part of me feels bad for the guy, and another part of me thinks, how do you not know the wrath of your stench? Do you have any semi-professional ways to address this kid's smell?
Well, first of all, being a medical profession, you learn that scent is the first scent to acclimate. So this kid might not know he smells.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gotta know he's got like pit stains whenever he does his laundry.
When's the last time you looked under your armpit?
Some people just
I have
sweat.
several times usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's when I'm sweating really bad. Then I look.
Yeah, but you're trying to get it wet. Of course you're going to be.
Yeah.
How old is this kid, did they say?
She does not say, but I imagine it's probably like a high school kid.
Okay. Is he looking for it?
I don't know.
Is he trying to get it wet?
I don't know.
Because you could just say, dude, chicks don't like that. And he'll be like, chicks don't like that.
Yeah.
In my days at
Maybe I'll-
working at the
maybe I'll have
movie
sex.
theater, I did have 2 separate employees who had BO issues, and we did kind of have to take them aside and encourage them to, at the very least, wear cologne
Okay.
to cover it up. And that's kind of how we addressed that. The other one was we promoted the guy to projectionist, so no one ever had to stand next to him.
Okay. What would you do
Alright.
with it, Wayne?
Ooh, is his birthday coming up? Or
Mine?
Christmas?
Birthday comes
Christmas
around every year.
past? Gift basket maybe?
Full
With
of
Gift
some-
basket of
deodorant and-
Axe
with
body
some
spray.
Axe body spray. Is he 5?
I'm going to guess
body
he
spray.
is 13.
13.
I don't know.
Oh,
He's got a job.
Axe
Yeah,
body
he's probably a
spray.
high schooler. But like
Oh.
Susan always jokes that 13-year-old boys wear Axe body spray.
Yes. I haven't. My buddy wears Axe body spray, and he is 20 something, 21.
All right.
And
Is he single, ready to mingle, or is he tied down?
He's single. He's single, but he wears Axe body spray still, and I'm
That's
like,
why.
that's probably it.
I like
That's
I
your
put on
problem.
my old standby. Cologne rhymes with alone. Just
Ooh,
saying.
Yep.
yeah. There you go. That's a good one.
So you think a gift basket full of like
Maybe.
just maybe he'll take
Oh,
the
here.
hint.
Maybe you'll like this. I don't know. I'm
Doesn't
bad
that
at.
smell good?
Yeah, exactly. Smell this one. This is really
Body
good.
wash, deodorant.
Maybe the guy's smell blind and he doesn't know.
He
So
probably
just,
doesn't.
Just be honest.
Fire him? I don't know. I don't know.
You're fired.
You almost gotta just, I think,
Be honest.
just be honest, but you can be professional and like nice about it.
Yeah.
Don't be like, hey
And,
man, you stink.
and if
Yeah.
you're, if he still doesn't do it, then when he's like just not looking, you walk by really fast and
Yeah.
he spins around and
And there's
You
just
s-
mist in the air.
You see him
You're like,
walking
I don't know
by,
where
and
that
you
came from.
set a mist trap of.
I'd almost like take him aside and just be like, "Hey, man, I don't want to offend you. I'm not trying to,
Ooh, I got it.
but I just gotta tell you."
You do like in Pulp Fiction when they shot that guy's brains out, and the wolf hosed him off with the cold water. This week, every time you smell, we're taking you outside and hosing you off.
Yeah.
You get a bucket of Febreze. You open up a door a little bit. You put the bucket on top. And you have him walk through the door. Done.
Boom.
If I smelled, I would want someone to tell me. I would
Yeah.
appreciate.
Oh,
if
Molly,
someone-
you smell. You're welcome.
This just turned into an intervention.
Thanks,
We were
Tom.
waiting for this moment.
Yeah,
We set the question up.
yeah.
Everything.
This is a fake question. Just to,
Thanks
We're
a
not
lot,
even
Fanny
recording.
Bag.
yeah.
I would appreciate that, though. Honestly, if I can't smell it and other people are getting grossed out by me, I would want to know.
I don't think it's the easiest job for somebody to do. Like, hey, you got to tell this kid he smells. Like, I don't think people want to be that person to tell him.
Yeah.
So I think that's tough.
Yeah,
way.
I made my boss do it. I was an assistant manager. I made the manager do it. He's like, you got to go talk to so-and-so. I was like, yeah, okay. And he went and he did it. So
Oh,
I avoided it.
Maybe
So there you go,
that's-
Fatty Nutmeg. Send it up the totem pole.
Yeah, and be like, this guy's offending me, and everyone.
mm-hmm.
And then the manager can approach it as a, hey,
We're getting
bothering
complaints.
everyone, we're getting complaints, and then
It was a special circumstance because my manager also happened to be a gay man. So he's
Oh,
like, hey,
well.
son, or I can't do a gay accent, but you stink. You got to smell good.
That I don't know. I think it was a total opposite accent.
yeah,
Are you from the South?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and that was something else entirely. But yeah, I think that might be, because then it's coming from not that person individually, it's that person bringing
You're
it
just
up
pushing
for-
the buck at that time.
Yeah,
Solve your own problems, Mal. Don't be a pussy.
but you gotta
Tell the
work.
guy he stinks.
But she's asking for so you gotta work with this guy then afterwards. What if he gets offended? And then
Well,
you're-
then he'll be scared of you. Come up to him like a
Stay
ball
away.
buster, just all offense.
fine.
Next question.
All right.
It's tax time. How do you feel about having How do you feel about having to do your taxes? Do you do taxes? What method of choice do you do to get them done? I get nervous every year that I did something wrong and that the IRS will be coming for me. Do you have that feeling?
Yeah, because I don't pay taxes. Delete. No, I've been a student for so long that I haven't had a job. So, what am I paying taxes on? I didn't make any money.
We use TurboTax. We love it. Susan has been thinking about getting her own tax ID. My wife is an artist, and she does art lessons on the side and sells artwork that she makes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't make enough money where it's an issue because she also pays rent on a studio. So if we did get audited, she could easily prove she's losing money on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then she'll sell a big painting. But we just do simplified taxes. We don't itemize, because when you itemize and you claim a lot of things, that's when the IRS notices you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Tom and I were joking before about, well, yeah, if we're drinking booze on the podcast, we can write it off as a business expense. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to get us landed in jail.
Yeah. Well, we got the drink mix, the
Yeah.
best drink mix ever
Bottle
of
of
the week.
vodka. Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's a business expense.
So, yeah, that's how we do it.
I don't know. I hate taxes in general. I think like everybody does.
As a comedian, do you get paid, or are you volunteering your time to do this?
I'm volunteering my time.
Okay.
Okay. For
Well,
now.
yeah. Once you break through that barrier, you'll get started
I'm
paid
just-
to like do colleges and stuff like that. But you're
No. I mean, I
still
get
young
paid.
guy.
I get paid now. I just don't want the IRS to listen to this. I no,
They're
I
already on their way. It's not
Yeah.
even posted, and they know.
I know. No, I get paid for it. It's pretty good money. I mean, it'll be better when I get bigger, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, it helps. It helps the situation, so that's good.
I got a tip for Fatty Nutmeg, though. Get a bookkeeper.
Like a bookie?
No, a bookkeeper. An older one. Because those are usually,
Preferably Italian.
well, they're usually accountants that don't want to work full-time anymore. So now you have an accountant that you don't have to pay like an accountant. That's a tip for you too, Mark. Get an old bookkeeper.
All right.
I will start to think about that.
I just use H&R.
We're getting a bookkeeper for the show.
You keep talking about that, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, we gotta have
Are
more
we
money coming in.
cash flow positive here? I was under the impression we're still in the investing in stuff phase.
Well, we are.
I want to get like T-shirts because I want to wear one. I'm willing to pay out the nose for it.
Yeah. All right.
So the other day, I was walking my dog, went past this house that had a dog in the backyard. Turns out the dog was not on a leash. So naturally, he came over to me for sniffs. Lady, dog, butt. How do you feel about dogs off the leash in their yards or elsewhere? FYI, I'm totally cool with it. Makes a life a little more exciting.
I have a story about this from a friend of the family. He was a mailman for a while, and a dog not on a leash in the yard ran up to him. And it, in Milwaukee where there's like those hills with the stairs going up to the houses, he slid down a hill. The dog never bit him or anything. He made $32,000 in court.
Whew.
Just for getting charged by a dog. So definitely keep your dog on a leash in your yard, because you may be sued the balls off yourself. And the dog didn't even bite anybody.
And if you're not the dog, try to get charged by a dog.
Yeah.
If your neighbor has a dog,
Yeah.
start messing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a bee in a slingshot and fire it at the dog.
Well, I'm a big proponent of dogs should be on leashes. Yeah, they're tame, is your best animal friend, member of the family. But every now and then, they're still animals. They could have some traumatic memory of a previous owner. They're going to snap or they're going to attack someone. My sister got bitten by our neighbor's dog as a child. So I actually thought it was kind of funny at the time. But now as an adult, I'm like, yeah, dogs should be on a leash. I get it. He's like your son, but he's also a wild animal. Or not a wild animal. He's an animal with animal instincts, and he will always be that way. So just put him on a leash for the sake of everyone else in society. And, your dog might be cool, but that jerk with his Rottweiler who thinks he's fine.
Yeah.
He's not fine. So the rules for everybody, and it should not be special cases.
I don't think it's always, it's not even just to protect the other people, it's also to protect the dog.
Yeah, because if a Rottweiler charges me, I am gouging its eyes and throat out. First reaction, before it even touches me, I'm going for the eyes.
Well, but not even if stuff happens, maybe it gets...
I almost hit a dog. I was driving home from work, and it was dark, and I put my blinker on to pull into my driveway, and there's just some dog running right past my driveway, and I almost hit him, and then his jerk-off owner is like 3 blocks down going, oh, hey, thanks for killing my dog.
My dog stays in the yard all the time. Okay, what if it decides to chase a squirrel or something one day? You never
just gets
know.
distracted, runs off, hit by a bus. End of your dog. Good job, guy.
There you go.
That happened to my cat. We had a cat that we used to let outside, and it would stay around the house. It would never go anywhere, whatever. The neighbor kid chased it across the road, and it got hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
So
Did the kid get hit too?
No.
Oh, there's no justice.
Keep your kids on a leash.
I have no problem with baby leashes.
They make those, actually?
Yeah, like a backpack thing, and that's like a monkey backpack, and the tail is a leash so the parent can hold on to it, so the kid can't run away.
That's great.
I'm all for that.
Wow.
I'm going to get one for Molly. All right, what do you think there, Wayne?
If you know that your dog is good with people, fine, and you're in like a fenced area, okay.
Fence.
Fences are cool.
Fences
Do whatever you
are
want in
cool.
your yard with your fence.
Yeah, it's all you. But if it's just a yard, there's nothing protected. You don't have they have those invisible fences.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, then...
Dog could still scare the shit out of some postman who doesn't know there's an invisible fence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, know your dog. I don't know.
I guess, so the only acceptable time is when you're in the country and don't have neighbors.
Or you live out in the sticks or something, yeah.
What's the difference between the country and the sticks?
When you first said country, I'm like, you mean like you're out of America?
Oh, jeez.
You're like traveling abroad?
Oh, my gosh.
No. Okay.
All right.
That one was good.
Last year, a friend of mine, a friend of Fatty Nutmegs, started intermediate fasting. Do you have any interesting interest on the topic? In case you were wondering, that friend has lost over 100 pounds in the past year.
Oh, no. Intermediate fasting works.
Well, isn't it like any diet? It's a lifestyle change. And
Yeah.
the second you go back, your body's
Gain it
gonna go
all
right
back.
back. Yeah.
Well, with intermediate fasting, you hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. You're controlling calorie intake, and with that, you are naturally shrinking your stomach and able to put less food in, which means less calories, which means less weight, and it's good. And another part of intermediate fasting that some people don't do, which I think you should do, is no food after like 6 or 7 p.m.
Binge and purge.
I'm bad at
Yeah.
that.
I know, so am I.
10 o'clock, I'll be, Taco Bell's open still? All right.
Dude, I'll wake up and I sleep eat. That's why I'm never going to be real skinny.
Oh, God.
I'll wake up in the morning and have like Oreo cookies under my retainer. I'll be like, when the fuck did I eat Oreos?
Oh, my roommate's horrible with that. He'll, I bought, those drumsticks, those, like the
Ice cream cones?
Yeah, with like the shit on top.
And those fuckers always put chocolate right in the bottom.
Right in the bottom?
Yeah, so you want another one.
My friend, I literally bought them, and they were 8 in a pack. I think they come 8 in a pack. Put them in the freezer. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna eat one now. I'll have one when I get home.
I have 8 tasty treats waiting for me
Yeah.
at home.
And I get home, and he's sitting there shirtless with
Just chocolate.
six
Oh.
ice cream cone wrappers next to him with chocolate on his face. And I'm like,
You son of a bitch.
6 of them? Are you serious? How many are left? 2? All right. Well, I kind of went in when because he was snoring, so I went in to close his door, and I kind of looked in. I'm like, what's that? I turned on the flashlight. He fell asleep with something with chocolate on his bed, and it was just melted into his pillowcase and stuff. I'm like, he's a child. I'm like, what is going on?
He's a child with no parent.
Child with no parents.
So back to the fasting.
But the fasting.
I know you have done P90X
Yes.
a couple of times.
Mhm.
How long before that completely wore off and you were back where you started after you stopped doing P90X?
Since I used to state champion arm wrestle, I would go back pretty quick.
So like 3 weeks, and it was like you
Well,
never
I
did
would
it?
still have the muscle underneath because
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean the
exercising.
look. When did the weight and the form come back?
It took a while, but it was from the eating, not from the not working out.
Okay.
It's always diet more than exercise. Exercise just keeps you healthy, fit, but it doesn't cut the weight.
I would say it's a lifestyle thing. You want to be thinner, you have to eat less and do more, or eat better. I used to eat at Taco Bell all the time, and I was a little heavier back in college.
Oh, I'm still a little heavier, so
Yeah.
it's.
You should see some baby or some child pictures of me. I was whew.
Yeah.
I was 300 pounds in high school.
Oh, you got me beat.
Holy cow! Yeah, I got everybody beat.
Wow.
Freshman year of high school, I was 300 pounds. Now I'm like 240 something.
Hey, that's
Wow.
good.
I would never have guessed you were that big.
Really?
So, yeah. So
I was-
kudos to you, sir.
That's why I did comedy in high school, because nobody laughs at the fat kid if he's doing comedy.
Yeah.
Well, everybody laughs at the fat kid if he's doing comedy, but for other reasons.
That's when you want them to laugh at you.
Yeah, exactly. But the fasting thing, intermediate fasting, so that's just not taken in? Like, it's not total
So
fasting.
you eat, you're going to have breakfast.
Yeah.
Have breakfast, half a breakfast at 6
I was
a.m.
going to say 6 pancakes,
And
4
then
eggs.
half a breakfast at 11 a.m. So you got 5 hours of fasting in between.
Oh, see, yeah. Okay.
And then you're going to have your lunch. So have your lunch at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then make the rest of your lunch your dinner at 7 p.m. And then don't eat.
Oh,
then
geez.
Taco Bell at midnight.
And Taco Bell at midnight. And then a half a sleeve of Oreos in the middle of the night that you don't remember.
Wake up with some chocolate stains on your pillow and move along.
Yeah.
Go over to Wayne's house,
Oh, my God.
eat his drumsticks.
Yeah. Oh, that pissed me off. Never get
Yeah,
over that.
That was one thing I hated about roommates was, you would buy yourself nice things.
Yeah.
And you'd come back and it'd be like, oh, I bought some nice fucking, nacho chips or whatever.
Oh, my
Not only did you
God.
open it, you left it open. We don't have AC. Now it's
Yep.
humid. Now they're all soft. Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then it's horrible because you're thinking about it all day at work.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I'm going to get home.
Those
and I'm gonna
drumsticks
eat
are going to be so good.
I got wings in the fridge. I'll eat them when I get home. And you get home, they're gone.
Oh,
I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's what gets me through the day sometimes. It's like, oh, dinner's going to be so good.
And then you just eat anything. And you just, yeah.
my mom.
Well, I do it.
My mom does something similar. She'll be like, "Hey, I'm making lasagna for dinner." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Getting some fucking lasagna all day at work. I'm working outside. It's fucking cold. All I'm thinking about is lasagna. And then I get home and she's like, "I didn't feel like it. I made chop suey instead."
Like
Total opposite.
Yeah, I'm like, "Ma, I like chop suey, but I don't want it right now."
Doesn't chop suey literally mean just like leftover crap?
Ma, the lasagna.
Where's the, yeah.
Lasagna!
Ma, the meatloaf.
Yeah. Like, okay, thanks a lot, Ma.
So I think we've already talked about the flu, but Fatty Nutmeg asks, the flu seems to be a big topic right now. Did you all get your flu shot?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
I did, but I have a little one, so I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked about this.
We have talked about the flu, because
Yeah.
it's really bad this year. I'm kind of surprised you didn't get one, because I know working at a movie theater, that's a movie theater employees tend to get the flu a lot because it gets into the seats and the chairs and it's there and there's so many people coming and going. You're at a comedy club, there's 100 new people in there every night or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't know who's, that jerk who goes out super sick and gets everyone else sick.
Mm-hmm.
But
I very rarely get the flu, which is kind of nice. So I've never gotten like the flu shot or anything. I was always fine.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, when you get the flu shot, it's like you get the flu. I'm like,
technically, yes.
And at this point, I'm like, well, I'm diabetic, so
Okay.
it's like I'm more at risk because if I get the flu, then my sugars go up, messes with your sugars and everything. So I'm like, well, do I really want to get the shot and then get the flu?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I think I'll just pass on it. Kind of take my chances.
Yeah,
that
I got
way.
the shot and I got the flu anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I got
like,
the flu twice.
I think they give you like a strain when
Yes.
they give
Dead
you the
strain.
shot.
they
so you
guess
can-
what they think the new strain's going to be.
Yep.
They give you a dead version of it so that you can
It
build
is
immunity to
mutated
it.
into
Yeah.
4 different strains. So
Yeah.
there's still 3 out there that.
Right. Every year.
So I
they
get
have to
sick
guess.
3 more times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I got sick right. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I had
That's
a
why
stomach-
we had to reschedule last week.
Mhm.
I was sick so bad.
Mhm.
Me and my dad were fighting over a bathroom. Because we got a certain flu that was just all we could do is wake up and shit and go back to bed.
Yep. That's where I was.
Yeah.
That was this past week, and I was just always on the toilet. I was like,
Maybe you had the flu.
I didn't puke or anything.
No, you don't have
But
to
I was
puke for
just
the flu.
fucking
It's
just-
influenza.
Yeah, just
I'll bet
crazy.
you had the flu.
Probably.
You had one of the flus.
Yeah, but I was good though. I mean, nothing.
bounce back.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So
It usually lasts for like 24 hours. And
should we wrap it up right now, Mark?
Sure, we can stick a fork in this one.
All right.
So we are Tom and Mark Off the Rails. Our website is theunipodcast.com. We are on Twitter at Unipodcast or on Facebook at facebook.com/Unipodcast. You too can ask Tom anything at asktomanything414@gmail.com. Our podcast is available on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, and many other podcast hosting sites. See our website for details. I think we've fallen behind on our YouTube postings.
Yeah,
So
Molly. And go to our website. Do the Amazon shit. You guys
Yes.
all heard the bullshit before. Click on Amazon.
Help
buy it.
help us get more microphones.
You can even just donate if you don't want to buy shit. And we'd like to thank Wayne Guenther for coming on the show. Let's clap
Thank
for
you.
Wayne. This was
Thank
awesome.
A
you.
little bit of a runaround.
All
but
right.
Yeah, this was
Yes.
fun.
You were willing to come back for us. So
Yeah,
thank
Yeah.
you.
I was.
Thank you very much. And Wayne, you got where we can find you again real quick?
Yes. Facebook, Wayne's Comedy in the search bar, and you'll see my ugly face in the picture, and that's me.
For you, sir, I personally am going to make Molly link that on our website.
Yep.
All
We're
right.
getting that linked
Well,
on the
thank you.
website.
Thank
so,
you.
Thanks, Mark.
all right. Thank you very much, Universe. And remember, we're not good enough.
Bye-bye.